Hey, what's up, guys? It is Saturday, the 25th of March. Just got in late last night from a vacation. We were down in the Florida Keys and got in like 2:30 in the morning. So doing my little errands, running around, make sure everything's all right. Wanted to do this video because this topic came up while we were on vacation. So I'm gonna try to not make this like an ultra long video. Normally these things I get rambly and get sidetracked. So I'm gonna ignore the comments, but we were down there. So peak season for us. I'll give you guys a little insight on a problem we have at Southeast Softwash. It's a good problem, but at this time of year, we simply cannot answer the phones quick enough. It's a challenge every year. Year long, it's always difficult, but in the spring we get so many phone calls that and a lot of you guys can probably attest that you tried to call us and you get a lot of voicemails and we have to call you back. It's difficult, but there's not really a good solution. I've already got 2 and sometimes 3 people answering the phones, and we just simply can't get the phone. We can't get to the phones quick enough. So ton of frustrated people. We hear back from a lot. I can't get a hold of Southeast Softwash. And we're like, yeah, I know. I don't know really a good fix for that. So we've stumbled upon, we're trying a new platform that we're going to be working with, and that started 2 weeks ago. It's an answering service that we're implementing because there's a couple of ways I can do it, or I can keep hiring people to answer the phones, but then the problem is they don't know crap about washing. It's going to take me a long time to train them on how to answer the questions. So that's a learning curve. And then, you know, it's going to die off in November, December, January. And then what am I going to have these people do? And, you know, it's going to be like a part-time thing. I don't want to do that. So I think the answer is going to wind up being an answering team for us, which we do have as of like 2 weeks ago. So it's brand new. We didn't really have it set up correctly, but it's one of those things you just kind of learn as you go. The problem is, in the meantime of figuring it out, every single day we were getting just inundated with phone calls. In the past, before we had the answering team, if a guy couldn't get us, he would just keep calling or send an email till he got us. With the answering team is, they were taking a message, writing it down, sending it into the portal, and they were telling everybody, okay, someone's going to call you back. And we're like, well, we may not get around to it. Literally, like, can't get off the phone. So we're down at the beach, we're on vacation, we're in the Florida Keys, and we're watching the portal, and I'm like, golly, it's just stacking up. And I'm looking at customers, guys trying to call with, some of them are silly questions, some of them are good questions, some of them are, you know, where's my order is a big category. Like, dude, you got the tracking, it's in your spam. People don't check that stuff. So I know I can call that guy back and I can answer his question in about 4 minutes and get him took care of, but, you know, I'm on vacation. I don't want to be doing that. So after about a few hours, we're like, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to start calling these guys back. I don't want it to pile up. I also am trying to help Jonathan and Ty not get buried. Ty's out there trying to order fill. He can't stop order filling to go talk about order filling. He needs to be order filling. So, you know, it's just one of those things. But so here's what I did. I got my, yeah, pretty much, don't go on vacation, but I got my phone, my personal cell phone, and I started, boop, one at a time, boom, 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 knocking them out. I actually did this last week as well. Me and Dusty were out in Nebraska. We were out in Omaha, Nebraska at our franchise guys taking some skids out there. And that's about the 3rd day we had the answering team, and it was the same issue. So once we get this dialed in, the problem will fix itself. But in the meantime, I can't have 200 guys that are waiting on a call back. So I was trying to knock them out. But here's what I noticed, and here's the point of this video. I called about 50-something guys, and only one guy, less vids, more call. You must have saw that other guy comment that too, right? One guy out of 50-something dudes that I called, only one of them answered the phone in a professional manner. Now, I'm using my cell phone, so no, it doesn't say Southeast Softwash, it's just a random number. They don't know who I am. I could be a house wash client, right? And I call, and this is what I got 53 out of 54 times. Hello. And I'm like, hey, is this John? Yeah. Okay, well, this is Cody at Southeast Softwash. Oh, hey, man. Man, how are you? I'm like, well, I'm good. You know, yeah, but what your question was, and here's, because I'm trying to do it quick. So 99% of people are not answering the phone. What should we do? Because the one guy did it right. He said, Da-da-da-da, how may I help you? And I was like, freaking finally, somebody answered the phone correctly. So here's what I did this morning. That was a data point, and I was like, I'm noticing a trend here. Nobody's answering the phone like they own a business. Guys, that's low-hanging fruit. We can all do that. It don't cost any money to implement. Now, the thing that Southeast Softwash is working on, trying to field the calls, that problem is going to wind up costing me close to 6 figures to fix that problem. And I love it when guys get pissy and they're like, well, I just can't get a hold of them. Like, I'm aware of that. And yes, that is an issue, but they think that we're just not trying to answer the phone. Literally, the only other way we can fix it is going to cost me a King Ranch truck a year, right? And I'm going to do it because it has to be done. Whether we hired people, 2 more people, or farmed it out through the answering team. But we've looked at those options. We've figured it out, and it's just going to be about $100,000 a year, which is crazy because we have so much call volume. But it's just part of it. It's part of the business, right? So here's the thing. In Midwest, don't call back either. And guys, you got to understand, I know Brian at Midwest, he's a good guy. It ain't that he don't want to. All of us guys in this industry, you have no idea what we deal with, especially during the spring. It's like, you don't want to not call them back. You want to call them back. And we hire people and try our best to figure out how to field that. So it's a very challenging thing. And so when the guys that are in the industry are calling the suppliers like us, and they have a difficult time getting through, they get mad, but they don't really understand what that problem is. For us kind of guys to fix that problem costs possibly up to 6 figures, right? No, I already got one. Thanks for offering. But that's the option for us. It's a big implementation to fix because the bigger you are, and we're one of, if not the most popular, because we got the YouTube channel. I mean, guys, we have homeowners calling us like every day. Hey, I want to wash my roof. And you're like, okay, who is this? Who are you? And you come to find out they're a homeowner. Well, it took 6 minutes on the phone, to get through all that. So yes, we have an issue with the phones. We're working on it. We've got a plan in place, but that plan to fix that is going to cost me a ton of money. But these guys, these 54 out of 55, this 99% bracket of guys that are just saying hello, it don't cost anything to go, yeah, pressure washing, how may I help you? That costs no dollars. So that's something we can do right now that makes us more legit, sound professional. If you want to be taken seriously, you've got to be serious, okay? You got to be professional. So this morning, I did an experiment. I got my computer, and I went up to the office. I checked, I just had to go kind of check out to make sure everything, I hadn't been up there in a week, so I had to go look around. But I called. I'm not going to tell you who I called. I'm not going to tell you the cities because I don't want you guys figuring out who they were. But I went to like 10 major cities in the U.S., big towns, and I looked up who was the #1 pressure wash guy and who was the #5 pressure wash guy. And I called both of them. So I called 10 of these and I called 10 of these. Now, a few I didn't get, a few whatevers, but the vast majority, I'd say 80%, 85% of the #1 guy, they either had an answering team or it went to voicemail because it's Saturday, right? And that's fine. And their voicemail was set up. It let me leave a voicemail. And the voicemail was professional sounding. The guy that's ranking, he's out of the map pack. He's down here. He's #5 on the list. Almost every single one, with a couple of exceptions. Most of them didn't go to anything. They had a voicemail, but I got that the voicemail actually has not been set up. It's like, you're running a business. You're wondering why you're #5, why you can't get to #1, why you're trying to beat the competition, but we're not doing the things that allow us to beat the competition, right? If the competition, you guys try this. Take me up on it. Here's your gamble. I got 39 guys watching right now. You go do this. Just get your phone out and do 5 of them. Pick you a random big town in America and find out who the #1 guy is, and then scroll down and find, somebody that's #6 or 7 on the Google page, and call them both, and you see what the difference is with the way their phone answering. Whether it's you don't have to have an answering team. If you don't need that, don't buy that, right? But if you're to that level, then get it. But at the very least, we can have our voicemail set up, right? We can have a professional sounding, and a few guys answered, and I just told them that I had the wrong number. But I had a few of the #1, I can't remember, 2 or 3 of the #1 ranking guy answered, and it was I didn't have any #1 guys answer and say hello. but I hardly had maybe 1 or 2 of the number 5 guys that answered the phone correctly. Think about it from your customer's perspective. Their first interaction with you is hello, and they have to say, is this such and such pressure washing? Yes, me. Well, dadgum, cuz, like, you're already dropping the ball. And here's, this is my rant. This don't cost no money. Southeast has a phone problem, but it's going to cost a King Ranch a year. It's going to cost me almost $100 grand. We're looking at how much we're spending because of the minutes usage, and I'll be somewhere close to $100,000 to fix this problem for my customers and to help my team out. I'm going to spend it. I'm going to write the check because it's got to be done, right? We can't keep growing. That's our current bottleneck, is the phones. The phones is the bottleneck, so we've got to figure that out. And I'm going to write the check to a tune of 6 figures. But what we got guys over here is they won't do a free thing that literally takes 2 minutes to go in, change your voicemail, and say, Ben Wilson's on here. Ben, there you go. Call Ben Wilson's pressure service. You're going to get a professional. If you don't get Ben, if you get Ben, Ben's going to say the script, right? And if you don't get Ben, you're going to get a voicemail that is set up, that the mailbox is not full on. You got to remember that stuff to go clear your mail. I know this is dumb as crap. I know it's stupid, but I'm just telling you, this is what we know because we deal with tons of guys. All right. We sell tons of rigs and we try to train them. And so we're interacting with a lot of pressure washing guys on a weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly basis. Okay. And I'm telling you, 75% of them, even guys that come buy nice rigs, they never get this little simple 15-minute stuff implemented. And if you do it one time, it's there forever, right? So I haven't answered a phone in a coon's age. I don't want to answer the phone because if a guy talks to me, he's like, is this Cody? Wow, I can't believe it. I'm like, yeah, I mean, yeah, you see me on YouTube, but what can I help you with? So it's not good for me to answer the phone because the call usually takes even longer. But I did call a bunch of guys back. I actually had a guy said, man, I'm really impressed that you would call me back. I'm like, well, normally I don't do that. I'm just doing that to try to help, right? So we'll jump in there. We'll do whatever we got to do to try to get it done. But I'm trying to get the 30,000 foot view and see what can I do to fix this issue, right? I don't want to be the little Dutch boy with all my fingers in the dam. But it just blew my mind that all these dudes they don't have voicemails. They don't have, if they do have a voicemail, it's like their old personal one from when they just had a cell phone before they started their business. Their voicemail's inbox is full. It can't take any more messages. Guys, this is simple stuff, right? We got to do the simple things so that later we can do the complicated things. I think, Ben, you still in here? We see guys in the inner circle that think about the dumbest things, and they're asking questions, and the inner circle is generally, squared away guys because they're in the inner circle. But we still see it there where they're so worried about the minutia of some little thing. And I guarantee you, if I called them and got to their voicemail, it would be like a janky voicemail. So please go fix your voicemails. Today is the day that you're going to say, all right, 10 minutes, I'm going to go get the voicemail figured out. I'm going to train myself that when I answer the phone, I always answer a certain way. And it may be a good idea to get another number that's your keep your number as your business number, and then get, a personal number. So you give that to your friends and family, if you know who they are when they call. But if it's any other call, you answer it on the business. You got the business hat on, right? You are sitting there with the business hat on, okay? Because what we're getting a lot of is we got our weekend hat on all the time. I got this hat out in Colorado. I thought I liked it, and it just don't sit right on my head. I look like Elmer Fudd. That's it for the day. I gotta go. Bunch of crap to do. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Wash season is upon us, but please, for the love of Mike, guys, I'm just telling you, it behooves us, right? We want to make sure that we sound legit, we look legit. That first customer interaction with us is as good as we can possibly make it, especially if it don't cost no money to implement that. Hope you guys have a great weekend. We'll be back in the shop next week. Todd Ketchow is on here. Dude your trailer will be done. He's got like 20 minutes worth of work on it, and it is a freaking beast. And I'm kind of glad that you didn't get it Friday, because I really wanted to do a walk around video on Todd's trailer. I think it is probably the craziest thing we've ever built, and it's pretty wild. I went up there this morning, and that was the first thing I went and looked at. Was like, I want to see Todd's trailer. It's it's pretty crazy. It's got some cool stuff on it. So we're gonna do a video on that Monday once we get it. He's got some cool stuff that we got to get finished wired up. But that's about it. So you're good to go if you want to come and get that. I think you got a hot shot guy coming to get it next Friday. Let me check the comments really quick. Leslie. Yeah, can't go on vacation, man. It was all right. It was a good vacation. Most people don't have a voicemail set up. I know, it's crazy. Don't know how to set up their phones. I know, James Bass, yep, they just don't. It's very simple, but a lot of guys, man, they're not techie, and you don't have to be techie to have your voicemail set up. Clint was at the shop yesterday. I guess you got to see that trailer in there. I pulled up my security camera footage. I got a camera up on the billboard, and I was looking at Clint and Jeff out there on Clint's rig making a quick repair. Yeah, Elmer Fudd. I can't show it on video, but I just went and set up a new one of these for SWAT team stuff. So I got that is going back on another long gun because I'm trying to keep this one that's right here lightweight as possible. But yeah, I think we're gonna go watch John Wick tonight and go to Outback. That sounds like a good Saturday, don't it? I need to cut grass. We're trying to sell a house, and we found another house that we like up in Wedowee, which is up there on the lake. So hopefully we get this house sold. We'll be moving, and it's just gonna be a busy spring for us. Hope you guys have a great weekend, man. It's gonna be a great wash year. We are actually firing our wash truck back up this year. Not planning on doing a lot of jobs, but me and Dusty are gonna go out and try to do a couple every week and make some play money and also get a bunch of content for you guys. So we're building us a shop skid next week. It's going to be a Gen 2 with a 11 gallon a minute pressure washer on there, gear drive, cracking. Just to be stupid, just because we had a pump and a gearbox in the house and a motor. So we're going to be building us out one to go on the third year with my Lumax. Bro, let's go. That's crazy, bro. It's so wild to me that that we've been so successful. And look, I have to be aware that the phones is our current fail point, right? You got to be aware of where your current bottleneck is and try to fix it. So we're working on it. Hope you guys have a great week. We'll see you next week. Holla. Whoosh. Can't do it with the lives. I still got to actually end the video, don't I? See you later, boo.